Kelly and Sean were having a little bit of laugh earlier about your competitive nature, Tony. And he also said, I missed this one earlier, but someone's got banging on their mind. I think you were banging on about something.
No, I was talking about being a renovator and banging it into shape. So that's what I was referring to.
Oh,
so
the panel beater.
Sorry, panel beater, not renovator. Panel renovator too. You are quite often renovating. You're banging holes in walls and whatnot. So, but yeah, so banging it into shape, Sean, in the sense of refining the plan.
That's right. And Kelly says, I've been doing property development journal that shows what actions we have been taking from 2020 to present, which is really good. So not only planning and thinking about what the next steps are, having something as a record to reflect on for the next property development or the next venture you want to take. How you felt, what are you thinking, what steps did you take? So that can really help in terms of writing things down. Tony, you always talk about writing things down.
Write them down, and then you can apply the two magic universal questions. What went well, what can we do different? And again, whenever you do, for example, property development, there's a lot of moving parts. Doesn't always go to the script. Take it from someone whose script is all over the place. Right, but you know what? It's about what can I learn from that? What were the things that went well? What can I learn from that? How can I refine that process? How do I ensure that thing doesn't happen again? So on and so forth. So I think it's wonderful, Kelly, that you've taken the step to journal it down. And again, I'd love to know then what you're doing with that journal. Is that how are you using that journal?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to find out from Kelly. So feel free, Kelly, to put your
share with us. Yeah, share with us how you're using
plans. Tony, moving on to what is the consistent and persistent action of that plan? Great to have a plan. Great to have a goal. And it still is a wish without that action of that plan.
Well, before you get to the action bit, there's two things. There's the thing called time, right? Time. With time, there's two elements to time. There's quantity and there's quality. So quantity is how much time do I have? So in regards to bringing that plan to life, how much time am I going to allocate each day, each week, on the weekend, at night, in morning, whatever it might be? What am I going to do from a quantity point of view to set me up in that regard? So again, I have a goal to do such and such, but if I don't allocate any time, it doesn't matter. So quantity time is the first. The second is then, now that I've allocated the time, how am I maximising that time? That goes back to the axeman and woman spending the time sharpening the saw, planning for that particular week. So what are the key things that I want to be focusing on to ensure that I'm not zigzagging all over the countryside? Instead, I've got a very clear and pointed direction of things that I'm doing. So time is absolutely essential in all of this. And then the other piece, Luke, which you're alluding to with consistent and persistent effort, is do something consistently on this. Like I see it all the time where consistency and persistence wins the day always. Quite often you'll see it in a sporting arena, you see it in a business arena, you see it in health and wellness. People who stick with it long enough are successful. You see it in sports. So many people who, as young people, have plenty of natural born gifts, natural born talents, but don't work hard. Get caught up in other things, and they never fulfill their own potential. Whereas others toil away, do extra reps at training, blah, 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 and they go on to be very, very successful. So it's consistency and it's persistency, and that's what wins the day. Because it's easy to give up, right? It's very easy to give up. And if you give up, then you're sitting with the masses. The masses give up, right? But it's about, we don't want to be like the masses. We want to be the minority here, and we want to be successful in whatever it is we're choosing to do.
Well, Adam has just said everything you want is on the other side of consistency. Look, goes without saying, consistency is a big part of me. What I do each and every day around Facebook Lives, around running. It's just been such a mantra for me. Look, Tony, the Sunday Mindset Session, 105 weeks in a row of the Sunday Mindset Session. That's where it's at. That's consistency. So, it's easy. It's a long weekend in New South Wales this weekend.
Right.
And everyone is out and about, probably late nights last night, and they're probably still in bed, maybe under the covers, right? Covered up with Luke and Tony.
In bed with Luke and Tony, absolutely.
In bed with Luke and Tony, and that's where it's at for a lot of people today. But, my consistency leads me to running this morning, getting on Facebook, having this session with you to just drum in that consistency. It's just such a powerful thing. And, it's the idea of the consistency. It's probably not the action of running or doing the Facebook Live, just to really drum it in tight for me to actually, and it just helps me with everything else, Tony.
Well, you've shared that. I mean, I've interviewed you plenty of times around your running, whether it be at the 1000th run or other times that we've done the Sunday Mindset session. And you've talked about the fact that it helps you with your mindset. You've talked about the fact that, having that consistency, it was all about getting your mind right when you first started. And obviously you've gone on to run, 1,300 days in a row, whatever it is, but it's about the mindset of doing it. It's so powerful. It's about creating the habits. When we talk about bad habits, it's easy to create bad habits. But here's what, you can actually go and it's just as easy to go and create good habits as well, right? And so it's about focusing on the good things. And you've gone and created, what is a phenomenal habit for yourself and have done well for yourself, but also inspired, plenty of people along the way as well through your actions. So consistency, and I've talked about the fable as kids, the hare and the tortoise, slow and steady wins the race. And, again, at the time, I didn't really resonate with that as a kid, but certainly now, in my 40s, I get it. I get exactly what it's about. And, my message to young kids, I'm very fortunate that, I've got two teenagers myself, or I've got, a lot of my friends want me to have a chat to their kids. And what I say is just, it's about, it's a long race. It's a long race. And, Gary Vee talks about, macro patience, micro speed. Macro patience, be patient for the outcome. Property is a get rich slow scheme, right? And so it's a case of you have to be patient. This is not cryptocurrency, right? This is get rich slow, do the right things consistently over a long period of time, be patient for the outcome, be macro patient, but be absolutely, micro speed. That is, do the things that you need to do the research, go to network meetings, put in offers, meet real estate agents, deal with buyers agents, whatever it might be, but be patient for the outcome.
Kelly said, I've certainly learned that much of this involves small actions and lots of patience is needed. And she also says, I use a journal to fine-tune our processes to avoid the pitfalls and streamline the whole process to increase the chances of success much better for future projects.
I love it, Kelly. That's wonderful. And thank you for sharing. And I think that's absolutely bang on. You're taking the lessons, you're capturing those down, what's worked well, what can we refine for next time, and then you're moving on to the next thing that you need to do. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. And then, what's going to happen is you're now creating this property development machine because you're constantly looking at how do I refine things, how do I tweak things, how do I improve them. And good on you, Kelly. I think it's a wonderful process.
It's really good, Tony. You keep using the words "bang on." I'm seeing them on Facebook as the comments get actually shown through the Zoom and the subtitles come up. So you're banging on about everything today, Tony.
Well, I don't know where that's coming from, Luke, to be honest. So perhaps there's something in that. I'll need to sit with this after and just have a think about it.
Maybe you need to put a plan in place for that.
to stop saying bang on. So who knows? But yeah, look, I tend to repeat myself a bit around certain topics because
bang on about things.
Yeah, particularly this topic, right? Particularly about planning, particularly around patience. You used to wear a shirt that talked about patience, and you did it deliberately. Your journey in property has been about patience. The fact that you're being patient with your running, so on and so forth. So it is about patience, but it's about having a plan to get you there.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great session to talk about what is your plan. We covered the idea of a goal without a plan is just a wish. And constructing that plan and thinking about the consistent and persistent action we want to take. I think Tony added a couple of bonuses in there for everyone around those two things. What were those two things again, Tony, in terms of actions?
Two questions.
No, just the two things. I think it was around the time.
Around time. So time, first thing with any action is time, and it's quantity time. That is, how much time do you have? and then it's quality time. That is, now that you've found the time, what are you going to do with it? Because the single biggest excuse, Luke, that I hear as a coach is I don't have any time. And quite frankly, it's BS. So we all have the same amount of time. It's not a time issue, it's a priority issue. When something is important enough to you, you will find the time to make that happen. Sorry, mate, I'm banging on a bit there. Banging on again.
Yeah, I know. Well, he just mentioned that too. Just get the banging out of your system.
Out of the system.
Increase focus, laugh out loud. Well, that's an appropriate way to, we do bang on about things every Sunday morning about what's happening in terms of mindset. Hopefully it just encourages you to maybe think that little bit differently, maybe to adjust some of the ideas and thoughts and actually put these plans in place. So if we can share or get you to think about doing one thing this week, it is construct that plan for yourself and then take action on that plan. Tony, great session. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the weekend. It's a long weekend in Australia and New South Wales. And
it's not up here, mate. It's not up here. We because we didn't win the State of Origin, we're all back to work tomorrow. So that's our punishment. We're all back to work in Queensland.
See ya. Bye, guys.